When you're building your very own home theater, installing some of the speakers in-wall can be a very good choice. By choosing in-wall speakers, you can avoid having the several speakers that are needed for a home theater system cluttering a space, and you can get a clean professional appearance. Hey guys, I'm Mark. Welcome to Car Audio Fabrication. On this channel, I do car audio, but I also love home audio, all sorts of audio. And in this video, since I'm currently working on building a home theater system, I needed to get some in-wall speakers installed for the surround sound. So in this video, we're gonna be doing just that. Let's get started. So of course, to get started, we do need to pick what in-wall speakers we wanna use. Now in my case, I went with the Focal 300 series. These are the rectangular ones for the in-walls. There's a lot to consider when choosing your in-wall speakers, and in this video I want to focus more on the installation, so I will give you some resources though down in the video description. One is a great write-up from Crutchfield that really goes into detail on how to pick these kind of speakers and the different features to look out for. And if you want to do some research of your own, their website has a ton of details on all the different products. They were cool enough to sponsor this video. They also have advisors that you can reach out and talk to and tell them what your system plans are, and they can help you out. If you guys want to learn more about Crutchfield and take advantage of a special offer for Car Audio Fabrication fans, there's a link down in the video description. If you guys watched my video about doing these guys, my in-ceiling speakers, you know that my Crutchfield advisor Paul helped me pick those out. He helped me pick out these as well, which is good because these of course match the in-ceiling speakers. So I want to do a quick unboxing and just show you guys what's in here. This is a little bit more of a premium in-wall speaker, just so you have an idea of some good key features to look out for with this style of speaker. Here, of course, is the speaker itself. We're going to go really into detail on this in a second, but a couple of other things in the box here. First off, they give us a cutout template. We're going to be using this during the installation so that we know the exact hole size that we need to cut in our wall. They give us this paint cover. This is really nice because once the speaker is installed in the wall, if you are repainting and you don't want to take the speakers out, you can put this in place and it's going to keep it nice and protected so no paint gets on it, and it holds on with magnets. The speaker grill itself, which also can be painted, also holds on with magnets, and as you can see the speakers inside there right now. If you didn't want to be able to see the speakers, which I'll be changing, you can use this included scrim material. This is acoustically transparent. We'll peel it off this protective sheet and we'll stick it to the back side of the grill here. And it's not super sticky, so we could always remove it if we did change our mind. And of course, they give us some directions here on what we need to do to install. Now, if we're looking at the screen here and we go back over here, this is where we're going to be installing this speaker. And since this is a surround speaker that will be slightly behind us, I did want to make sure that I had an adjustable tweeter. If we push here, you can see we can adjust that tweeter to the front, we can adjust it to the back, and we can also go up and down. Having this adjustability is key for really dialing things in. And speaking of adjustability, they also give us a mid-level control and a high-frequency level control, in other words, the tweeter. We can attenuate and go down 3 dB on each of these independently, or we can go up 3 dB. Now, with a good quality receiver, we could of course make those similar adjustments, but it is nice to have these quick adjustments on the fly if need be, if we do want to change anything up. Good quality in-wall speakers are always going to have a nice foam here in order to help seal to the wall, and they're usually going to have a crossover board. You can see this one in here that's built into this, and if you're unfamiliar with what a crossover does, that basically divides up the frequencies of information going to each individual speaker, because we don't want any of the mids or the low bass going to our tweeter. We want only the highs going to it, so that helps divide it up. Actually, if we look from the top side here, here's a much better look. On the back side, sometimes we'll see a little connection here that we can run a zip tie to in order to secure our wiring. That way, when it's good and secure, we don't have to worry about it potentially pulling itself out of the push to connect connectors when we go to push it into the wall. And like I mentioned, these are push to connect. So we've got positive and negative, of course. And then on this, these are the mounting solution. So when we go to install, we're going to flip these up like so, and you can see that they're on a spring. So once we go to push this in, the drywall is going to come right here. And the way these install is really nice and intuitive. You guys will see, we'll talk more about that later. The 300 series has this unique flax style cone from Focal, which matches the rest of the speakers throughout the system. They also have these speakers in the car world, and from my experience, they sound super, super nice. So definitely excited to see how these sound in the home theater. Now let's talk about where we're gonna position the speaker in the wall. If you're using this for a home theater, it's generally a good idea to look at some of the general guidelines for the surround speakers, or maybe you're using these as your main speakers. You want to look at those and do your measurements in order to determine what the angle is to your listening position and make sure you have the correct height. Now, the other thing you definitely want to check for before you go and cut out a hole is you want to make sure you locate where the studs are in a wall. So the stud finder is a great tool to invest in, and you also definitely want to make sure that there's no electrical running in that spot of the wall. It depends on if it's an exterior wall or interior wall, but generally you have 2x4s or 2x6s going this direction here. So vertical, and then on the top you of course have them framed in. So what you want to do is you want to get yourself a stud finder, and you can go along and you can detect where each of the studs is. And that's why I have these two tape pieces here. I like to put a piece of tape where each of those studs is located. Now, I've actually already mounted my speaker on the other side of the room, and I want to make sure that I'm in line with that. So I'm not going to center between the studs. You could if you want, again, depending on your situation. I'm going to be offset slightly this direction, but at least I know where they're at, so I can make sure that I account for it. It's probably a good idea to note though that you can't just have the hole cut out right up against the stud, because a lot of these speakers, they have some sort of tab or something that comes around from the backside. And in this case, I can actually check this out in the instructions here. It tells me that dimension B is the minimum dimension I need to have between the studs. And it tells me that that dimension is 10.8 inches. So what I can do is I can measure where the center point is of this cutout, and I can divide that 10.8 minimum distance by 2, whatever that dimension is. That's what I need to have from the edge of the stud here to my middle point, and that will give me a gap that's enough clearance. So I did my math, and in my case, I need a little less than about 1.5 inches from the edge of the stud to where my cutout is going to be. So I'm just getting a rough area right here, right now, just to note to myself. So I also know the dimension that I need to be off the floor, so I'm gonna make that mark. And now with these two marks and a center mark made on my cutout template, I can start lining things up. And this is the absolute most critical part. You wanna make sure that you take a level, put it on top of your template, because there's nothing worse than cutting this hole crooked and having the speaker not look quite right. So I'm good and level now. I'm going to trace around the outside of the cut template. So I've double checked all my measurements. I know I'm good to go. So now I'm going to take a drywall punch saw, and we're going to start cutting this out. And something to note is sometimes these saws, like in this case, are longer than what the wall is. So make sure that you don't punch all the way through and punch through to the other side. Take care and use shorter strokes just so you're only cutting this side of the wall. Also a good idea to have a respirator on so you're not breathing that drywall dust. Now before you finish your cut, take a piece of painter's tape and loop it back on itself and stick it to the wall like this. That way you don't have to deal with that piece accidentally falling down inside the wall. So we have our cutout made, and just a quick illustration. This is why I said you want to be careful that you don't punch all the way in, because we would have gone through that other side of the wall. Now this is going to depend on your application, but in my case, I need to run a speaker wire through the ceiling, and I'm going to drop it down from this stud up here into this wall. So I am going to be able to just get a drill bit in here, nice and easy like so, and drill that hole. If you did have a little bit more complex of an issue where, you know, it was higher up that you needed to go, you can use a flexible drill bit. I talked about that and a bunch of other tips and tricks for running the speaker wire and your other wires for a home theater build. You can check out that related video. Got my fish rod here. I'm gonna put it up inside the wall cavity, up through the hole. So it's sticking up above on the other side of the wall. I'm gonna go tie the string to it. All right, got it tied. So here's our pull string. So now I can attach my wire to this and pull it back through. Now we can prep the speaker wire, stripping away the insulation. These push to connect terminals are super nice. Makes it really easy to connect like that. We'll run the wiring up here. We'll do a quick little zip tie. We'll flush cut away that little tab. Now I've folded all 4 of the legs back, and this has got to be the most satisfying thing in the world. Check this out. So see how the claws kind of start to grab it? There's these here that we can use to hold the speaker on the outside, and we're going to click in the bottom like so, then we'll click in the top. Boom, done. Clean off any drywall dust, and we'll just double check level once again. I'm perfect on the money. If we do need to make any adjustments, again, these straps do allow you to kind of pull as needed. And don't forget that we want to aim our tweeter at our listening position. We can always adjust this easily if need be by popping off the grill, but let's get the grill on. So here's what the grill looks like on the speaker without that scrim material, so you can still see the speaker in there. Some of you guys might like that look. In my case, I want the speaker to be completely hidden, so we're going to load in that scrim material. It's crazy how this material works. It blocks out just enough of the light that once the grill is on and in place, you can't see that speaker anymore. So if you are planning on installing some in-wall speakers or doing an audio system in a home or in a car, definitely check out show sponsor Crutchfield. A big thanks to them for being a sponsor of this video. They can definitely help out with their advisors that are always standing by, ready to help you guys out. If you guys want to learn more about them, check out the link down in the video description, where you can also get a special offer for Car Audio Fabrication fans. A big thanks to them. Check out some of the other related videos here on screen, and as always, my friends, thank you guys for tuning in and watching.